Good morning, everyone. I want to warmly welcome you to the Transgender Day of Remembrance flag raising. We're going to start with our land acknowledgement. The Durham District School Board acknowledges that many Indigenous nations have long-standing relationships, both historic and modern, with the territories upon which our school board and schools are located. Today, this area is home to many Indigenous peoples from across Turtle Island. We acknowledge that the Durham region forms a part of the traditional and treaty territories of the Mississaugas of Scugog Island First Nations, the Mississaugas people, and the treaty territories of the Chippewas of Georgina Island First Nations. It is on these ancestral and treaty lands that we teach, live, and learn. This statement was co-created in partnership with the Mississaugas of Scugog Island First Nations and the Chippewas of Georgina Island. The Durham District School Board recognizes Indigenous rights are distinct. In the exercises of those rights, Indigenous staff and students shall not be subjected to actions with the aim or effect of depriving these distinct rights. The Durham District School Board is committed to providing learning and working environments that center human rights and equity and are safe, welcoming, respectful, equitable, accessible, inclusive, and free from all forms of discrimination, oppression, harassment, and harm. Today, we come together to honor and remember the lives of transgender individuals who have been lost to violence and discrimination. As we listen and stand in solidarity with the transgender community, we are reaffirming our commitment to fostering a safe, inclusive, and supportive environment for everyone. Without further ado, it's my honor to introduce the Director of the Durham District School Board to start us off in a good way. Please join me in welcoming Director Camille Williams-Taylor.
Thank you so much, and good morning. Today, November 20th, marks the internationally observed Transgender Day of Remembrance. Today, we pause to remember those who have lost their lives and who experience oppression due to anti-transgender violence and bigotry. This day holds deep significance, and as a community, we stand in solidarity with transgender individuals, their families, friends, communities, and allies who continue to champion equity and acceptance. Rita Hester's story serves as a powerful reminder of both the beauty of living authentically and the risks faced by transgender people who courageously claim their identity. Rita was a beloved sister, aunt, and friend. She inspired those around her, including her nephew, who remembers her as someone who encouraged him to dream boldly. Rita's death in 1998 sparked an outpouring of grief and resolve, igniting what has now become Transgender Day of Remembrance. The journey towards equity and justice is far from over, but we are committed to creating a system that celebrates and supports the 2S LGBTQIA+ community. The Durham District School Board recognizes the historical and ongoing discrimination faced by transgender and gender diverse people in our society and within educational spaces. Through our human rights, anti-discrimination, and anti-racism policy, we explicitly commit to ensuring that transgender students and staff are protected from discrimination with a focus on upholding their rights to safety and dignity. Our initiatives, like the Pride Network, Gender and Sexuality Alliances, and the My Name program are designed to foster inclusive, identity-affirming spaces. These programs and policies remind us that we have a responsibility to advocate for transgender and gender-diverse people in our DDSB community, creating environments where individuals feel safe, seen, and respected. Today is both a remembrance and a call to action. We remember those whose lives were taken and those who continue to face marginalization. We reaffirm our dedication to creating safe, inclusive spaces for everyone in our community. Thank you for standing in solidarity.
Thank you, Camille. Please join me in welcoming Michael Bowman, the Superintendent of Positive School Climate.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. Today on Transgender Day of Remembrance, we come together not only to honor lives lost, but also to reaffirm our commitment to supporting the mental health and well-being of our transgender students, staff, and families. At the Durham District School Board, we recognize the systemic barriers and oppression faced by transgender individuals, and we understand the importance of creating environments where everyone feels safe, respected, and valued. Hosting a Transgender Day of Remembrance is an important part of our broader commitment to anti-oppression work. This day not only allows us to mourn those who have been taken by anti-transgender violence, but also to stand in solidarity with the transgender community, pledging to foster equity and inclusion in all areas of our work. As a board, we are dedicated to cultivating positive school climates where all students feel safe, respected, and valued. Our commitment to mental health is intertwined with our efforts to create inclusive spaces. Initiatives like Pink Shirt Day, which originated as a response to bullying, underscore our dedication to tackling all forms of intolerance, including homophobia, transphobia, and biphobia. We know that the mental health impacts of discrimination can be severe, and it's critical to ensure that transgender and gender-diverse students receive the support they need to thrive. We would like to thank Visible Every Day for their ongoing partnership in this event, as well as acknowledge the valuable contributions of our community partners, including PFLAG, AIDS Committee of Durham Region, Canadian Union of Public Employees, CUPE, Ontario Secondary School Federation, Teachers Federation, OSSTF, and the Elementary Teachers Federation of Ontario, ETFO. Your commitment to this important work is essential to creating positive change. As we reflect on the lives lost and the ongoing challenges faced by transgender and gender-diverse individuals, let us also take this moment to commit to everyday actions that foster understanding and acceptance. Our collective efforts are crucial to ensuring that all students, staff, and families in our communities can thrive. Thank you for joining us today on this shared responsibility.
Thank you, Michael. Please join me in welcoming Sarah Earle from PFLAG Canada, Durham Region.
Good morning, and thank you for having us here today, both in person and in spirit. For this solemn and deeply important occasion, we come together as a community to mark Transgender Day of Remembrance, to honor the lives of transgender people taken by violence, hate, and indifference, and to stand in solidarity with those fighting for acceptance and safety in a world that too often denies both of them. Today, we remember those individuals' lives who were cut short simply for being who they were, vibrant souls whose deserved dignity, love, and respect, but instead face misunderstanding, hatred, and violence. Their lives mattered. Each and every one of them mattered. And it is our responsibility to ensure that they are never forgotten. As the president of PFLAG Durham Region, I am proud to stand here representing an organization built on love, support, and advocacy for the 2S LGBTQIA+ community. PFLAG Durham Region exists because we believe in the power of community, and that power lies in our shared commitment to uphold the dignity of every person, to challenge prejudice everywhere we see it, and to make space for those who feel unseen and unheard. This day is not just a day of remembrance. It is also a call to action. We cannot sit idly by as transgender individuals, especially transgender women of color, continue to face violence, discrimination, and hate at alarming rates. We cannot ignore the statistics, nor the stories that fill our hearts with sadness and righteous anger. Today, we reaffirm our promise to work tirelessly, not only to remember, but to fight for the future where every transgender person feels safe, valued, and respected. Our role in this community is to be allies, advocates, and friends. Whether you're transgender or a loved one, friend, or ally, each of us has a role in fostering change. We must work to educate others, challenge harmful stereotypes, and advocate for stronger protections in policies and institutions. Each of us can and must contribute to a world where transgender people are no longer vulnerable to violence, but instead celebrated for the richness and diversity they bring to our lives. Let us also take a moment to acknowledge the strength of those who are still with us, the transgender individuals who bravely live their truth every day despite obstacles they face. Your courage is inspiring, and your voices are vital. We see you, we support you, and we are committed to standing beside you every step of the way. As we move forward from today, may we carry the names and memories of those we've lost in our hearts and continue the work that they no longer can do. May we honor their memory by building a world that celebrates every individual's right to live authentically and without fear. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for remembering. Thank you for committing with us to a better and brighter future for all people.
Thank you, Sarah. At this time, please join me in welcoming Tyler Hunter from QP 218.
Good morning. My name is Tyler Hunter, and I have the tremendous honor of representing QP 218 today. We are your secretaries, your EAs, your maintenance staff, your custodians, your cafeteria assistants, and your continued education staff members, just to name a few. I would like to thank the DDSB for inviting QP to participate today. We always appreciate the support of the DDSB. As a worker of the DDSB, I ask this question to multiple coworkers each day, and I'm going to ask it to everyone here. How are you? And let's try this again. How is everybody doing? And let's do this again. Truthfully, how is everybody doing? In life, we seem to mask we are people-pleasing individuals and never really know the extent or express, for the most part, how we are truly feeling when asked. I'm asked by my coworkers, my loved ones, my friends, how are you today? I answer with enthusiasm, I'm great, how are you? But in the back of my mind, my true feelings, and in reality, I am not fine. I am not fine. Such a simple statement, yet such a powerful and actualized emotion that a lot of people don't get to express. The feeling of being lost, depressed, not fitting in, while others seamlessly make connections with ease. These are thoughts that a lot of students feel on a regular basis. But a student that identifies as trans, these feelings may be something that consumes their day. The feeling of being lost, depressed, and not accepted is a lot for one person to handle. And this brings me to the reason why we are here today. Transgendered students, friends, colleagues, and community members, how are you all doing today? As the certainties in this world try to change, remember this one thing. We see you, we hear you, we understand the uncertainties you face as your fundamental rights are being constantly pushed back and challenged by people who have no business on telling you who you are. We are all here to support you, we're here to talk, we're here to guide you through your pain, and we're here to advocate for you. You should never, ever feel like you're alone. If you look at history, there were some remarkable, incredible people that were transgendered. These people helped not only shape our world, but prove this isn't a fad and this is not something new. You are all here, you are amazing, and you're not going to disappear without a fight from all of us. Today we honor the senseless lives that have been taken or lost. As we take the time to reflect, we need to support each other and band together so our future generations can overcome. We need to triumph the victories, forgive the pain, for their future happiness and acceptance is the main focus that we all have. As we look to build student success, safety and support are the main keys to their success. Now, I read this quote a couple months back, and it's a wonderful quote, and it's extremely powerful, and it's 100% the truth. I've just modified it slightly. We are not trying to turn your straight kids gay, and I'll add trans. We are trying to keep your gay and trans kids alive. And let's say this a little bit louder for the people in the back. We are not trying to turn your straight kids gay or trans. We are trying to keep your gay and trans kids alive. Let that resonate with you all for a moment and reflect. We have one goal as support staff and educators. We want to provide your kids with a clean, safe school and be there to support them with whatever comes their way. We want to make darn sure that we build them up for success. Now let's take a moment in silence and we're going to reflect on the tremendous lives that have been taken, lost, due to bullying, political influencers, peers, classmates, and internal self-doubt. Now imagine in that moment, one of your classmates, your students, your coworkers, or family member has just taken their lives. And there seems to be this thing that you constantly hear at the funerals. They were an amazing person, and they don't understand how this senseless act could happen. When you're constantly told that you're worthless, and your identity is make-believe, and your feelings don't matter, and why would we cater to a specific group? Think of how it would be if the scenario was in reverse and directed towards you. A lot of us take for granted our privilege on a daily basis. We assume this is how we're supposed to be treated. We deserve the right to be treated this way. And when a group is different, we have people constantly screaming and yelling, why do they deserve the right when we don't have it? And why are we catering to a specific group that is only 1%. Hate to break it to you, we are larger than 1%. Self-identification probably falls into 3 to 4%, but there are people that remain in the closet and keep their true identity to themselves. How can you be true to yourself when you're constantly being surrounded by people that tell you you're worthless and you don't even deserve to be alive? Think about that for 1 minute. You go to work, you go to school, you go out in public, people ridicule you, make you feel like garbage, and second guess that you deserve the same right to be here. Now, we have a lot of people saying it's a political statement, and the reason why we cater to a specific group is an agenda. Well, I must have not got that agenda, and I never asked for it, and if people want to speak beyond the words that I have and speak on my behalf, that's wonderful and it's very appreciated. But maybe some of my viewpoints don't align with yours. I personally don't care what another person thinks of me, but a lot of people don't follow the same sentiment. It's hard to take things personal when it's a constant echo of the same message on a daily basis. And I'll leave you guys with one last thing, and we're going to do this all together in the room, and we're going to do it with the viewers that are online. Close your eyes for 10 seconds. Imagine you're in a body that you're not comfortable with. How would you feel? At this moment, you feel nervous, you're scared, you're uncomfortable, you don't feel like yourself, and you don't feel like this is how you're supposed to be. Imagine stepping into the shoes of somebody that battles through this every single day. At the end of the day, you need to live your life as your authentic self. You need to be true to yourself, have the support of each other, have the support of your peers, and the support of the community. And let's be clear, this battle is going to be a hard one, but we need to band together, uplift each other, support each other's accomplishments, and we can create a more inclusive, diverse, and world that we all can call ours. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Tyler. Please join me in welcoming Garrett Metcalf from the Ontario Secondary School Federation.
Good morning, folks. The Ontario Secondary School Teachers Federation, District 13, has a long history of activism supporting the 2S LGBTQ+ staff and students. We are proud of our continued partnership with local queer organizations and DDSB in pushing back the hate faced by the trans community here in Durham and throughout the province. Today, we raise the trans flag, recognizing Transgender Awareness Week and honoring all transgender, non-binary, non-conforming people's lives lost and impacted by acts of transgender violence. District 13 recognizes that much more needs to be done. Over the past few years, we have seen firsthand significant increase in hate targeting the trans community right here in Durham. OSSTF is committed to doing the work necessary to end violence against our trans colleagues, students, and communities that we serve. We are committed to doing all that we can to ensure that trans staff and students feel safe in bringing their authentic selves into our workplace and our classrooms, including the right to pronouns being honored. Everyone suffers from the stereotypes linked to gender. In fact, all sexism, homophobia, and transphobia are rooted in these strict patriarchal gender binaries and must end. It is our hope that one day we will not need to be gathering in remembrance, but rather in the celebration of the richness, diversity, and the gifts the trans community offer to all of us. Until that day, we all have a responsibility to continue doing the work to fight transphobia, and District 13 is fully committed to doing so.
Thank you, Garrett. Please join me in welcoming Mary Fowler from the Elementary Teachers Federation of Ontario.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having ETFO here, representing elementary teachers and educators within the school board. Today, Transgender Day of Remembrance, is a day when we pause to honor the lives of transgender and gender diverse people who have faced violence and discrimination simply because of who they are. It's an important moment for each of us to reflect not only on the pain and struggles of others, but on how we can be part of creating a better world. Lately, we've seen a rise of hurtful rhetoric and negative messages aimed at the transgender and gender diverse communities. These words and ideas, when repeated, can create an atmosphere where people, students, staff, friends, parents, and guardians feel unsafe and less valued. We may not always realize the impact they have, but these messages can affect someone deeply, especially if they're struggling to understand or express their own identity. As educators, we have an incredible responsibility. Students aren't just here to learn math or science or history. Students are also here to learn how to be kind, how to respect each other, and how to stand up for one another. Each student has a unique identity, and we want to make sure that students feel seen and supported in this space, no matter who they are. It's essential that together educators and students create classroom environments where everyone feels they can be themselves without fear of judgment or rejection. We may not always understand someone else's experience, but we can always choose empathy. We can always choose respect. We can always choose to stand up for what is right. On this day, let's commit to making our community one where all identities are affirmed and where every person feels they belong. We all deserve to live in a world where we can be true to who we are, free from harm and fear. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. At this point, please join me in welcoming Mike Minier from Positive Schools Climate.
Hello, everyone. My bit is really quick right now at this point in time. First of all, thank you all for coming. We're going to head outside for those of you who wish for the flag raising. For those of you who wish to remain here, we have some seating here, and then once we're done the flag raising, we'll wrap things up. Okay. Good morning. First, on behalf of the Durham District School Board, we'd like to thank you all for being here today, those who came here in person and those who have been engaging online. This morning on Transgender Day of Remembrance, we took this opportunity to remember those who lost their lives due to anti-transgender violence and bigotry. However, we also had an opportunity to highlight our collective commitment to elevate and affirm intersectional transgender identities in school spaces throughout the DDSB. Moving forward, as an organization, we will continue this important work to put in place the everyday conditions necessary to establish and sustain learning and working environments that are safe, caring, and respectful, and enable all to thrive. Spaces where we honor every individual's identity and inherent dignity. Through our role as duty bearers, we are responsible for and committed to honoring and upholding transgender rights and all human rights. As was mentioned earlier, this important work is far from over. However, we are committed to creating a connected community, one in which we care about each other and strive to know each other. When we do this, we center humanity and we put the focus on the common threads that bring us together rather than focusing solely on our differences. Thank you all for joining us today in this collective commitment.